Do your pets miss you too much when you're gone? Separation anxiety can cause a lot of stress. Mark Chambor from Canine Corral is here to help our four-legged friends out. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
Friend, who did you bring with you?
Well, it's great to be here. This is Nilla. Nilla is one of my rescue dogs. She's actually my personal dog now.
She's beautiful. She really is. She's so calm with us.
Yes. What is separation anxiety to a dog? Does she have it?
Well, believe it or not, she has extreme separation anxiety. If she's not, separation anxiety is when a dog exhibits stress to the point that they will cause destruction, they pant, they actually may even pee or poop in the house. They have to be by a human. If they're not by a human, they don't understand it, and they just have to be by a human.
But I have a question. A dog doesn't have a sense of time, right? So does that mean if you're gone for 5 minutes, it could cause the same amount of stress as if you're gone for an hour?
With separation anxiety, behavioral, such as this is, anytime they're separated, the time doesn't matter.
Now, tell me about these pictures. This is when she's alone, right?
Yeah, these pictures here that's her jumping over the counter, jumping over the fence to get to me.
She's looking for you.
Yeah, definitely. There she's actually stalking. I've never been stalked by a woman before until Nilla.
Oh, my goodness.
This is her after I've worked with her a while, and she's actually relaxed now, and I'm going to go over some of the tips that got her to that, and there she's a happy girl. Very happy
look
girl.
at that.
Yeah.
What a difference we're seeing. So how can we minimize their anxiety?
Well, one of the things you want to remember is that dogs, it's natural for them to be with their pack. And so it's not natural for them to be away from the pack. So we, as humans, say, okay, we're going to go to work, we're going to go to school, or especially with children that have been with a dog over the summer, now they're in school, and it's like life changed. So what we want to remember is that we don't want to make a big deal about being gone. We have to understand that being with a pack member is natural for a dog, so we have to make it more natural to be separated. That's why it's important to start very young. You can start with crating your dog, crate your dog throughout the day when you're home, so that the dog learns that you know, it's supposed to be separated, and don't make a big deal about it. Don't do, oh, I'll be right back, and don't do that.
What I've always done.
Yeah,
so the crate doesn't become negative if they experience it when you're home as well.
Exactly, and the other thing too is, you know, you don't want to make a big deal about it. You don't want to. I guess really the biggest thing for me is that if you don't want it to follow, a lot of times we don't crate our dogs. You don't want it to follow you to the door. The most important thing about that is that
if they see you leaving, is that worse?
it's worse because of the fact that it's like the door closes, you're gone. So what I always recommend is have a place like the pink place right there on the floor. I have a Thunder vest there, which helps the dog too while you're gone, but during extreme separation anxiety, it may just rip that completely off. I mean, they can cause house destruction. She causes damage. However, with me working with her on some of the things and letting her know that it's okay for me to be gone, don't make that big deal when I come back. When I come back to the corral, I'll put her in daycare, and I won't make a big deal.
Oh, so you're not like, oh, daddy's back kind of thing.
And yeah, and actually daycare is great, because if you take your dog to daycare period, it's with other dogs, but it's not doesn't feel it has to be with you. You are actually the pack. Give it something to chew. So if you don't crate your dog, you could have a mat, you could have a nice chew there for her, you could have a toy there, some things that, and you're not telling your dog to stay, you're just telling your dog to place
There's
there.
your place.
And you're going to leave. Change up your routine. Don't, if you crate your dog 15 minutes or 10 minutes before you leave, don't do your normal stuff with doing your makeup, getting your keys, you know, the whole 9 yards, because the dog realizes that, and you set your dog up to actually be distressed. So in order to keep the dog low stress, hemp oil has worked the best for me. I've had a lot of different remedies, but I use the hemp oil with her during thunder stress. And you want to understand that a lot of the things that a dog goes through separation anxiety are very similar to thunder. The treatment can be the same, meaning that we want to relax the dog. See, with all the dogs that are getting displaced because of Hurricane Harvey, they're going to experience a different type of separation anxiety. They're doing a wonderful job, by the way. The rescues are doing awesome with what they're doing. But you want to remember that that separation anxiety is different. That's because of displacement. When a dog experiences separation anxiety that Nilla has, it doesn't matter where she is, what condition, she has to be with a human. Those dogs will get adopted, they'll go back to their homes, and they're going to feel just fine. That's only because of displacement. They won't exhibit it probably for the rest of their lives.
Or she will be a more. rest
She's
of your
always
life.
going to be a challenge, but I'll tell you, if I leave and I feel that I can tell by her condition, she pants terribly, her eyes get all bug-eyed, you know when it's coming up. And there too, that's when you don't want to make a big deal. We are the ones a lot of times that cause the separation
Because
anxiety.
we make a big deal.
Yeah, it's like it's like the little kid that falls down and he gets scraped, and you go, oh, they're fine until you do that.
Yes.
And that's kind of how this is.
Oh, this is so helpful. Thank you so much, Mark. Canine Corral website can give you more information, or you can go by and say hello and ask your questions yourself. And next, Stephanie's going to share her pictures from sending Wrigley off to college.
It's my separation anxiety.
Yeah.